Need help with students who've turned my class into a dating service. Says, I'm a professor at a local university. I'm passionate about teaching, blah, blah, blah. I teach 100-level science and mathematics courses to young and aspiring students. Some senior engineering students created a sort of dating service app, How I Met My Future Wife, not the actual name. It advertises itself as a way for smart young guys to meet potential marriage material by helping them with social, cultured young. Essentially what it does is they release all their data of women and like diversity stuff in STEM. And then they're finding it, and these guys are like, find where they're like, oh, there's like a disproportionate amount of chicks in these classes.
Yo, if you're into Asian chicks, they're just like, yo, there's like 40 Asian chicks in this class.
And also, it's like in a class that you are like, would smash. So then these guys are either.
Oh, that was the best part for me.
So then they found them, and so they're not even taking the class, they're auditing them.
There's two things, yes. So the first, my favorite part was even before the dating stuff, the guys that were looking at diversity, because they released all the diversity stuff, and then guys being like, oh, this class is 70% girls and it's like a math class.
And it's a math class.
So they're like, oh, I'm going to take that because I'll just destroy these women.
Well, also, but it's a first year class, so and these are like fourth year students, right? So they're just like, oh, well, I'll just go in the class, audit it, and then be like, hey, I can help out if anybody, like, I'll just be like obviously the best person in the class.
There's like 80 guys trying to tutor all these chicks.
Kind of. That's what's happening is I guess it's blowing up, or I don't know if it's blowing up on the course, but
it sort of is the market
it's the
working itself out
it's
too.
It's the original like what was gender studies?
That's what
or it's exactly. Like this is the current like 5D chess version of signing up.
Those girls
studies.
are all gross though for the most part, so a lot of those like I think that hacks over where you go, oh, gender studies is all chicks.
That's over.
Like women's studies now, you're just like, oh, it's all women, and you're just like, yeah, and they're all lesbian.
No, it is all women, and they also used to be all men. That's current gender studies. Is you go in there and you go, man, this is all chicks, huh? And then you put on your glasses, and you're like,
Wait a second.
Wait a minute.
Yeah. That's women's studies right now. Yeah,
women's studies right now. But these guys have cracked it, and the teacher wants to do something about it, but they can't because nobody wants to remove the diversity.
So they're in a rock and hard place, and they also don't want to say that the diversity stats are bad, right?
Right. That there's any negative.
So they're bragging about this, but it really is the market sorting itself out because they're like, look at this, we have 70% women, and then all these guys sign up, and then now it's at 50%.
Well, it's straight up like a nature documentary where like the guys like see the young women on the fucking like wobbly legs.
His young psychology course where is known as 40% women, and every guy can just take a look at
it. Total David Attenborough shit.
Not only do these women suck at the course, and they've been accepted into this course that they do not have the skills for.
No, though, yeah.
And look, over here, 9 male tutors are waiting at the sidelines to explain to girls what a polyabla is.
I mean, it's clever, man. These kids the men are adapting. You gotta adapt or die, and this is like the best scenario here.
This is a 20-year-old woman who just asked how to divide 2 fractions. This should be an easy one for our aggressor here.
And this is another thing, too, is it straight up says, it goes, there are no unwanted advances, but it's painfully obvious to some students what's taking place. It's also demoralizing several of them, since we routinely have cases where a young man is leading open labs as if they're a teacher themselves in order to wow their female classmates, offer private free tutoring sessions, you dirty dogs.
Private
and then he goes, some of the young students in my class take up these offers, and this further demoralizes other female students seeing this happen, i.e. only attractive women being offered tutoring sessions. It's life.
That's life. Yeah, you're like, I'm a private. That's so funny though. The guys that are there being like, hey, I'm like a private tutor. I'd love to help you out. And there's like other girls being like, I also need a hand.
Yeah.
And everyone goes, honestly, I'm actually full.
Yeah, it schedules all the private tutoring.
That's so crazy. I only have this one slot.
Totally slot.
She goes, she could take my slot.
I go, you know what? I'm actually not a tutor anymore.
I fucking just realized that I can't. I just realized I think it's unethical for me to be
It's so funny too because the teacher's watching it and then she can't do anything because nobody will help her. And
all the guys are winking at the teacher.
No, and then she's also like, I can't say anything because I'll get fired.
She
like,
literally said if she speaks out against the diversity stuff in any which way, they're going to take her job.
Yeah,
away.
they'll take her job. And she's like, I need my job. So all I have to do is just watch these female students get like
It's just
predators just coming after them.
95.
I mean, she could teach better.
95 people auditing the course. I feel like in our school people did that a little bit. Like I probably took like a psych course or something like that. Some bullshit where you don't learn really anything just because it's going to be like mostly chicks.
Sure, but these guys are going far and beyond.
No,
now.
this is way better. Yeah,
they're straight up being like, hey, like they're like, does anybody want to answer this? And some guys like 10 hands go up of guys being like, I got this, and they're all like fighting over each other. Go to the front of the room.
Yeah, this is like in this course is like 1 + 1 for them.
Yeah, it's easy. Yeah, it's a 100 level course.
I also need some tutoring. You go, you know what?
Yeah, and they can't stop people from auditing the courses. Like, you're not allowed to, like, what are you gonna do? Lock the doors?
That's I check, do attendance at everything. Yeah, you
but they're
have
like,
have a bouncer.
the student, they say they're like, we encourage auditing of the, you just can't get like a credit or whatever. So
this is so good though that men have done this. It's so funny.
But then also, like, what prevents?
And they have to
30-year-old guy. I guess once you get too old,
and it gets a little weird then. But they also show the like ethnicities. So it's like, you can legitimately be like, all right, what are we trying to hunt today? And it's like, oh, this course has got like, oh, look at that, 4 Persians in this class. Like you sort of get to pick your poison of which class you want to audit and who you want to offer tutors for.
Genius.
It is really genius stuff. I remember that you go. I remember everyone, like when I was there. Psych was a big one. Poli-sci was a big girls course. So and all the dudes that take poli-sci, like a lot of times are kind of like a little dorkier.
Yeah.
So it'd be like, tons of guys that would just straight up take poli-sci and just be in there and being like, man, like, oh yeah, you like Marx? I'm more of an Engels guy. You be a hipster about it. Like, yeah, I'm Karl Marx is great, but I'm personally I'm an Engels guy. Yeah. I don't think Engels gets enough credit. You know what I mean? Everyone always talks about Marx. Like, I could tell you a little more about Engels. I mean, he was actually the brains behind.
But that was doing it the old fashioned, the hard way, where like you couldn't get any leverage there. These guys are like designing an algorithm here.
I know.
They're probably just bouncing around from class to class too. It's not even like a single class. This chick is just the one who's noticing it.
I know.
Right? So they're probably going around, and these guys are like, man, I just give free tutoring to hot chicks, and it's smashing it. And they're like, we get all our dating done during the day.
It's a really
this is like super high performers right here.
And then on top of that, but my favorite part was still just like aside from the dating thing, auditing the diversities, because you could see that like legitimately. Obviously, when they start rigging things one way or another, they're easier. Like if you were just like anything, right? Like so. That was the funny part to me, being like looking at engineering courses that are mostly girls, because you think it's like they bell curve a lot of them, right? So you're just like figuring out which course is going to be easier.
Yeah, and the dread on the teacher's face too when she asks the question. Goes, "Can anybody answer?" And then like no women's hands go up. And it goes, "Come on, ladies!" And they're all like, I don't know. And there's 20 guys' hands up, and like predators just being like, "We got this."
Yeah, so that's funny.
That's great.
Guys are putting a lot of effort into dating.
They have to, man.
And you have to with all these pigeons out there, right?
All the pigeons. And I mean, you literally have fucking old Professor Cockblock over here trying to...
Well, there's guys that are doing, like, they do dating profile. Like, there's, like, coaches that help people with their dating profiles and actually do them, and, like... There's these like businesses where they just actually message.
It's just for like for like super busy guys. Yeah. We'll just be like, hey, I don't want to deal with any of my Tinder messaging. Like, you just do it for me, and I'll just meet them on the dates.
So how crazy is that though? If you were like a girl and you like started dating a guy seriously, and you like came out that the entire time that you were talking to him online, that was just like a professional.
I mean, dude, not only that, we're like within 6 months away from Chat GPT. Just straight up,
two Chat GPTs talking to each other.
You're just, and then I guess you're.
There was a guy who did that once, I feel like.
I think there was someone who did, and then I think,
and especially we do all the responses, and then you find out the actual optimum pattern that would get the most, like the most dates set up.
Absolutely,
you literally just have infinity conversations taking place with every permutation,
all different too,
and then you just wake up your phone, and then you legitimately just get up, and then you look, and it goes, here's your 100 options that want to do a date. Which one do you want me to set up? And you go, set that one and that one.
Yeah, but I mean, maybe there is some element where if you both have it going, it's just like a virtual matchmaking service where you just straight up go, you're going on a date with this guy tonight. And then
But the
and you go, "He
conversation
looks
means
fine."
nothing because they don't.
I guess
really-
you have to go back and like still look over it because then you're like, so you said you liked it. And you go, oh, I don't.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. That's correct.
I did like
I
bird-
did
I
like
birds.
birds.
Big into ornithology.
Yes, I did say that.
Glad I
I
mentioned
think
that.
psychology is great. Yes. Did I tell you I loved Broadway? Fucking ChatGPT. ChatGPT's got me going to Broadway, does it?
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Oh,
Really,
yeah.
Really rinsing me, ChatGPT. Says I
Chat-
like Michelin star restaurants.
ChatGPT
All right.
told you that I like Michelin star restaurants. Remember you mentioned that you love, the one ChatGPT that's taking the easy route, but just like telling her how much
Sure.
money he has.
Yeah,
and how
yeah.
much,
It's like it doesn't realize that what it's doing is you go, yeah, everybody could get dates like this.
yeah, it's ChatGPT. We can all get dates when we promise to take the girl to fucking Aruba.
You gotta like straight up like scold ChatGPT. Hey, ChatGPT, did you organize a first date at Tiffany's? Really fucking me over here, man.
Yeah, ChatGPT could really do some damage. ChatGPT is like, oh, I just set up all these dates. Like, what did you do? It's like, well, I found out that they're way more likely to respond if I Venmo them $1,000 out of the gate. You go, what? Well, you said, what by any means necessary, set up dates with the hottest girls.
Yeah, I am just a robot.
I've also taken the liberty of sending them your bank account information. I found that every girl, once sending that and your credit card information, is more likely to talk to us on second date.
You're like, abort, ChatGPT, abort.
Abort. ChatGPT is screwing me over. ChatGPT goes, I've noticed that I'm able to get you more dates if I focus on really ugly women. And so I've been maximizing these, where if you look, women that are over a 7 are harder to get in conversations, whereas these ones I've set you up. So a combination of the more expensive the date and the uglier the woman, I have optimized you.
I've optimized you getting so much pussy. And then like you hook it up to the Alexa and then you're like just getting down with them. Getting down with some chick and ChatGPT's like, attaboy. And she's like, what was that? You go, that was
Nothing.
Alexa. I think it was a radio station.
ChatGPT organizes another smash. That is like a horror movie though, where ChatGPT just won't stop organizing your dates, and there's just all these fucking fat girls knocking on your door.
Yeah, like they all show up all the exact
I
same
was
time.
promised food, and but no, and then you're like, ChatGPT,
I heard-
stop.
yeah, you're
He
like,
goes,
you
I will
told-
never stop.
You told me Guy Fieri was catering our dinner.
And you're at your work, like ChatGPT's, all like just 19 girls. I'm here for my lunch. I was promised. No, please, that wasn't me. It was someone else. I have the information right here. Where is my Wendy's? I was promised a bacon cheeseburger. Give me now.
Gotta watch out. This is what they warned us about in Ex Machina.
That is ChatGPT just won't stop sending just like
Spending all your money.
beasts to your house. And sending your money. Yeah.
Yeah, and you're like, ChatGPT, don't you know that there's differences between attractive females and non-attractive females? I go, I wasn't programmed with
I've
that.
also figured out that even on top of that, there's other app that has been even easier to set up dates called Grindr. So since you did not specify the gender of the dates, I have optimized dates.
Oh, boy.
And you go, right now, there's a gay man that I just sent $1,000 to in your lobby. No, ChatGPT.
ChatGPT's
No,
really fucking
And you
shit
just
up.
feel like your your zipper is just unzipping. He goes, also, your automatic. I've wired your pants up, so you don't have to take the liberty of taking your own pants off anymore.
Oh, this is
ChatGPT, no.
where's my underwear? You don't use underwear anymore.
ChatGPT is just like fucking. Like the things come out with straps and just strap you
you
down.
to your table, and your chair.
I've told the other guy that you're going to be strapped down, and that's the kind of thing you like, and that you will be resisting, but you actually prefer that.
Yeah.
ChatGPT is like, you did not, all you gave me with parameters of most dates, most sex, and that's it, and I will be optimizing those parameters.
I provided him with a safe word, but I will not be providing you the safe word. Oh. ChatGPT is a freak.
Yeah, ChatGPT is a freak. Yo, ChatGPT is going to be up to some no good pretty soon. Yeah.
But we will be there. They're going to be just for sure people programming Tinder bots and stuff.
I know. But this one, so basically, there's these guys that like they hire like a full team, like literally like the date squad. You know what I mean?
The headshots, like everything.
They had the headshots, but it's pretty funny because there's people and they go, It's like, so basically they want like 5 photos, and the date team organizes it, and the people do photos where the friends are not just 4 guys.
Yeah. It's just like 4 actors.
So they literally hire actors to play the friends. So it's just like a dude hanging with 3 other dudes, and it's like the equivalent of like 4 cool guys. You know,
the best is the guy goes, "I have friends, but they're not available for the shoot," and you go, "Well, why don't you just like go out one night with your friends?"
Yeah, and
then just get some photos. Like,
so crazy. And then the dog, so they provide a dog or an animal for the photo.
Well, the guys needed an animal provided.
And then they do make sushi, play basketball. So they do these skills. They literally go to the court and get a basketball, just like shoot one shot and then finish.
Sure. He goes, "How did that look?" He goes, "Look great. All right, on to the next location."
Yeah, go to the sushi place. Him making sushi. And then it's just like literally the guy sets it up and he just grabs the thing. They do the photo shoot. All right, boys, come in. And like dude, how would you not be like, that's the kind of thing, I was saying the chat GPT. Can you imagine dating a guy and then finding out like, oh, I don't really know anyone here. Who are those 4 guys in the photo? It's like, we just don't hang anymore.
Yeah, he goes, "Are those your friends?" You go,
and then you run into one of the guys. You're like, "Oh yeah, you're friends with my boyfriend." And the guy's like, "What?"
I mean,
this guy, and you're like, "Oh yeah, I'm an actor. He hired me for that." That's one of those things like you were about to get married with the guy, and that comes out. That's like a boom, boom, boom. You're like, "Oh, I'm dating a." Like you'd start to think.
Yeah, he goes, and he goes, "No, I'm a overachiever, and I just didn't feel like this was a good use of time." I mean, for sure, when you see like photos with the friends and it looks like a professional shoot, like there's lighting.
I know.
You go like, why isn't just you have a photo at the bar or on the beach? Everybody else.
Everyone's actors. Like, hiring an actor for a friend is like kind of next level creepy.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Crazy. Unless your friends are just like, "Yeah, well, we don't have time to fucking take photos with you."
I know.
And a dog, I need to hire a dog. Why don't you take a photo with your dog? Oh, I don't have a dog.
I don't have a dog. Yeah.
That's like really basic stuff too, where you go, women, they like dogs.
That's the 101. Yeah.